Hey everyone, welcome back to StudySession. Today, we'll be diving into the world of academia and sharing some powerful strategies to help you boost your grades and excel in the upcoming 2024 school year. Whether you're a high school student, a college student, or even a lifelong learner, these top-tier strategies are what I use to graduate with a 4.0 in engineering, and I believe that they can work for you too. So let's get started. The first things first. Setting the right foundation is crucial for academic success. Let's start with organization. Without proper planning and scheduling, you're always going to feel like you're behind and drowning in your studies. As we approach a new school year, there is no better time to begin scheduling. Get yourself a planner, an agenda, or a calendar. This can be physical or digital, whatever works best for you. This is going to be your roadmap to success. At the beginning of your term, collect all the dates for your assignments, tests, or any other deliverables that you need to stay on top of. Through this, you will ensure that you are never surprised by any upcoming due dates. In addition to adding the due dates for all your assignments, labs, or any other deliverables, I recommend pre-adding scheduled study time or work time before each of those dates. So, for example, on test, I always wanted to ensure that I had at least 2 weeks of study time rather than cramming all of my study time into a day or two before the test. The amount of time you pre-add will depend on how much studying or work is needed to succeed on that deliverable or test. So, for example, maybe an assignment is 3 days to a week, a test is 2 weeks, and exams are 3 to 4 weeks. There are scientific studies that endorse this. Smaller, repetitive study sessions over longer periods of time help your brain remember and recall information better than trying to cram all of that knowledge in a long, cramped study session right before your exam. Now that we have organized our calendar and know when all of our deliverables are due, let's talk about some studying strategies that I like to use that might help improve your grades. Firstly, let's talk about my absolute favorite way to prepare for tests and exams. That is using cheat sheets. Note the quotation marks around the cheat here, as we're not actually going to cheat, we're going to learn something. For this study technique, you are going to take a sheet of paper. Now, imagine that you are allowed to take this into the test with you. On this sheet, fill it with all the definitions, formulas, study tips, or anything else you think you may need to know. Once this sheet is completely filled, get a new sheet of paper and cut it in half. Then, like before, take all the most important parts of information and fill up your new half-size cheat sheet. You can continue to reduce the sheet as much as you wish, but the idea is that you are going to prioritize the information into the most important bits, and it really hammers them into your head. Think of this like distilling all the information down and really understanding how all the information connects together and what's the most important. Another great study technique that is more widely used is the cue card method. This method works especially well for definitions and even formulas. Beginning with a cue card or even a sheet of paper, write the word or thing you want to remember the definition or formula of on. Then, on the back side of your cue card or sheet of paper, you are going to write the definition or thing that you wish to remember. Through this, you will create a stack of cue cards, and you can continually quiz yourself or quiz some classmates, and this is a great way to memorize definitions and formulas. Much like I mentioned earlier, through these small bursts of repetitive information, your brain will memorize it much better and be able to actively recall it on your tests. One last technique that I found really useful is imagine that you're going to have to teach that information to someone new. Through this, I mean that we try to understand the information well enough that you can simplify it in a way that makes sense to a beginner. The way to do this is continually asking why. For example, why do atoms look like the way they do? Why do electrons organize themselves into orbitals, etc.? Through asking more and more questions and learning more, we understand more about the overall subject and we can teach it to others more easily. Then, through all this work, we obviously become more knowledgeable on the subject and can do much better at recalling the information and actually understanding it on exams. In complement to some of these study techniques, you can also think about a reward-based system, such as a gummy bear for every correct answer or a time-based approach to help incentivize good behavior. For example, you can use the Pomodoro style technique where you study for say 20 to 25 minutes, then relax for 5 to 10. This allows your brain some rewarding and rest instead of just studying hard for 30 to 40 minutes, then blankly staring for 20. These are highly personal, and I recommend trying to find a study style that works for you. Just briefly, in addition to this, I recommend that you find your ideal study location, whether that's a desk at home, your kitchen table, the library, Starbucks, etc. Try a couple locations and identify what works best for you. Beyond the organizing and study techniques, the best advice I can give is to talk to your professor or teacher. Many students do not take advantage of the person that is already being paid to help you. Teachers should be an expert on the subject they are teaching and willing to aid you. To make the best use of your teachers and your time, I highly recommend that you go into the talk with the teacher with a list of questions that you have. And if you're stuck on a given question, talk the teacher through your problem-solving logic so that they can easily identify if you're heading in the wrong direction. Beyond your teacher, if they are being unhelpful or in a supplement to them, the internet is an incredible tool at your disposal. There are many YouTube channels, such as us here at StudySession, that offer tons of educational videos that will aid your understanding of complex topics. Beyond just organization and study techniques, we need to ensure that we have some balance with other aspects of our lives. Through this, I mean that we need to ensure our body is getting sufficient rest, hydration, and relaxation time. Lastly, I just want to close out this video by saying don't stress yourself too much over getting an A- over a B. A few unsatisfactory grades is not going to ruin your life, and the more important thing is to not get discouraged and really try to find what you like about learning. Especially in university and college. Ensuring that you enjoy the material that you're learning about, it'll make studying much less of a burden. If you're in high school, this is a great time to begin thinking about where you see yourself in the future. Do you see yourself as a business person, an engineer, a laborer, mechanic, doctor, janitor, or whatever you wish? And begin researching the path to pursue that career. I hope that this video helped your understanding of how you can improve your grades in the 2024 school year. If you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and consider checking out our YouTube memberships by clicking that join button down below. However, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns about the information I provided in this video, please leave a comment down below and I will do my best to address your concerns.